Hello. Oh, mucking around here. I'm Richie.
I'm Grant. Grant. Depends where you come from.
Yeah.
It's hard when your mother sometimes calls Grant and your dad calls Grant.
Oh.
I was always confused. What's your name?
Granty?
I've got no idea.
Warmer.
It's hard. Yeah. It's a warmer. It's a Walmsley's a warmer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got it. I'm the one that got that somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, Richie's easy.
Yes, well.
Richie Cunningham.
Growing up in a Polish background family, I got called lots of different things.
We can make another episode.
Absolutely. Oh, my God. And here's the couch, and I'm ready for the couch.
Yeah, this is therapy with Grant and Richie.
Yeah, the therapy. And the guitar therapy, probably the best therapy ever anyway.
It so is. And so we're talking about guitars and what sort of shaped us to play like we do. I'm looking at we're trying to look at albums that really made a difference. And what have you got today for us?
Oh, look, I know you touched on the Stones in the last episode. And, having said that, the Stones were a huge influence on me as well. Not as much through my guitar playing, because when I got to the point where I went, oh, gee, I know exactly how to play. You go, oh, I know how to play guitar now. What am I going to play? And the kids out there and everything. And of course, there was always the AC/DCs. And it was always the twin guitar, though. It always had to be that power. It came from power. But for me, believe it or not, when I first heard Iron Maiden and the sheer power of that, and it's not the early Maiden either, it's the Number of the Beast with Bruce Dickinson. It's.
So you're going to teach me a lot about this, because I never picked up on any of that. Even your Deep Purples, and I didn't get that till 15 years ago. I didn't.
See, that's right.
I didn't come from there at all.
See, I loved it. I loved the Deep Purples.
Yeah.
I loved all that British Invasion. I loved that whole, and also obviously Ozzy Osbourne was right up there at the same time for me. But as a guitar player, I thought that I reckon if you could master Iron Maiden as a kid, I think you're on the right track.
I was saying to Richie just when I came in today, he had Number of the Beast on. And I just straight away picked up the guitar. I'm like, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, it's not that hard. But as a kid, so you went, if I can nail this, I'm there. I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, I can never play that. So I never even looked at it.
It was very difficult. It was like a whole learning. It was like, I have to master what these guys are doing. But essentially, like you were saying before, with that whole down, but that's what some of the songs in the Beast, it's like,
all that
down.
Yeah.
Like that Prisoner or something, whatever it's going to be,
And that's that power key. The power's it's all downstrokes.
So it's
that's why we've got RSI now.
No, I think so. So, but that was like just about the whole album and how they go is it's all downstrokes. Yeah. But it's quite basic, but it's got the melodic thing. Where I reckon for the two Jets albums where that came into play, and how I could slot into working with someone like yourself who was more with that Stonesy feel and everything. Yeah. I could sit there and like for instance, Dreaming On.
Yeah.
And you go. Yeah.
That's so handmade. That's not funny. And I didn't know that till this day.
And that's what. And I would always. That's how I was always like thinking.
Because I remember coming up with that riff just instinctively, but it's because you were playing like dun, 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 dun. You were doing that already, and I wasn't oblivious to Iron Maiden, but I can see how that just I got that without even knowing it. From
it was like a thing I had to do, and it wasn't like it was good. I always say like I played under you kind of thing to get that sound. I was like I felt like I really could be an EQ to the guitars.
Yeah.
So you've got like obviously you running a bit cleaner, I'm running a bit more dirty, a bit more mud.
Yeah.
The mud for me as a rhythm guitar player as well in that situation really it cements the bottom layer
Man,
That's
that's
like a
amazing.
contract.
That's amazing you said that, because I vividly remember. You got to remember, kids, when we were doing these first two albums, we had 3 Marshalls each, 3 quad boxes each, 2 8x10 bass rigs going. It was loud, and Brad was loud. Brad played loud too.
It was mainly Brad who had to go over that.
And you're so right. It's like I had this sound. This is where that twin thing. This is where all those 2 guitar player things. It was a sonic thing. It's an EQ thing.
It's an EQ.
Frequency.
It's a frequency EQ thing.
Yeah. And that came with the P90s SG and the Les Paul humbuckers. It's the same thing. We had different spaces in the spectrum, which made the spectrum wider as guitar players.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how I always saw it, and that's why I used to get people come off stage and people go, I couldn't even understand really what you were playing, but you were there. When you stopped, it was us. It was like it was stop.
That's the beauty of it. That you take one thing out and it goes, what happened?
Yeah, the Arsene falls out.
Because we weren't the sort of band where it's like, hey, I'm a guitar hero, here we go. It was like, we're going to make this wall of sound.
Well, wall of sound.
And that was a really nice, humble way we always used to play. We didn't want to be, hey, look at me. It was like, here's the wall of sound. Yeah, you take one thing out, it's gone. And these are the nuances that I think younger generations don't understand what makes a sound.
Mm.
You could listen to Motown hits and you go, oh, that's really easy. It's really simple. Okay, let's just start taking some stuff out. How's it sound now?
No, it wouldn't work.
And it's that beautiful thing of people collaborating. That's what I love about music, is people collaborating. I get really, really left cold with people looping and playing on their own. I just, hey, that's a skill. It's cool. I'm not saying you can't play. I'm not saying it's worth, but for me, please play with other people.
Yeah.
That's where magic happens.
It is where magic happens. Yeah. Magic that's happening, and it's rare though for solo artists to come up, and they are rare. They're rare as hen's teeth, and this is what you want, as in a solo person coming up, and they're absolutely there, but for absolutely a collaboration. But that's the beauty of and having 2 guitar players isn't easy. It's not easy at all.
No, you're absolutely right. Trev, who plays in when I'm doing like acoustic stuff and stuff, he's great. He's an older guy. I say he's 96. He's about 67 or something. He says that to me now. He said, I never realised how hard it is to be in a 2 guitar band.
It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
To get it right.
Because sonically it's got to be complementing.
That's right.
And the parts you're playing. Why am I playing that when you're playing that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, see, when I used to play in the brass bands with, obviously, you would give them parts, and obviously it was scripted and music and everything like that, but you're given a part, and you're never really given the same part as, say, the tenor horn or the trombone would give.
Yeah.
They're different. They're all different.
Yeah.
So that was the beauty of me having that music skill at that point, early point in time. Without the attitude, it was a music skill to go, how do I work with this, and where's my position within this group? So you kind of like, and you have to kind of own your position. Once you owned your position, you could then obviously, it was easy then. It was like you knew where you slotted in. It felt all right. But for getting back to the EQ side of the whole thing with the 2 guitars, see, for me, Iron Maiden were like that. They both complement, like Dave Murray with his Fender and his Wangy Bar, everything was
1960s Fenders with Floyd Rose and humbuckers. Sacrilege to me. I was like,
I know, but these guys knew.
That to me had to be pure, but yeah. But yeah, he started his own thing.
Yeah, and is always on top pickup, but you've got someone else like Adrian Smith, who was like I liked really much. He was always on the down pickup, on the tail pickup, crunching away. So you had that. There's that for starters. There's your EQ.
Yeah.
So you've got your bass and your treble going at once.
Yeah.
They're not both on treble, so you're not killing people. Yeah. Or you're not both on bass, and people are going, I can't.
See, as much as I say I wasn't in Iron Maiden, because it wasn't that I wasn't. I just never went there. I was massively into Thin Lizzy. And to me, Thin Lizzy was Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham.
Yeah.
Period. That's the twin guitar sound for me. I mean, yes, Gary Moore played 100 other people played the band, but that to me was
that was a good start
too.
there.
Yeah, and the same thing.
Look, Judas Priest for me as well. That scenario.
Yeah. So
the Priest.
I don't know any
the Priest has had some of the best stuff ever. Those two boys could play so well together.
Yeah.
It was insane. They were the classic Jewelers.
Yeah.
Because that was have harmonies underneath.
Yeah.
I think they're the classic Jewelers.
Yeah.
Guitar Jewelers.
Yeah.
Both those guys.
So we had Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham for me with those Thin Lizzy double solos. Like, wow. But you can hear Priest, you can hear Maiden and all that. That was a thing about our band that, like having Steve James produce too, we were more, well, not always, because, I love American music.
Yeah.
But we kind of sounded more like that British double guitar band to some degree. But then purely Australian.
Yeah. This was, that's what, we did really well over in Europe and America. Because of that, we had a little bit more of an edge. We weren't the British side, and we weren't the American, but it was definitely that sound,
The British side, like all the bands we played with were, they didn't have that. We had mongrel's a good word, I think. We had that strain, mongrel. We had this grit in our teeth, and the Americans were a bit more showy.
Like the Almighty, I mean, those two got, they're singing a guitar player.
Yeah, Ricky and Pete
together. So you had the American with the
Scottish. But came out of LA playing with Alice Cooper for years. Yeah.
And then you had, obviously the Scottish.
These guys from Glasgow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Almighty, great Glaswegian band.
I think it worked with those two guitars because of that difference. They were so different, like coming out of the album, and now it's...
And these are punishing Les Pauls and Marshalls. I mean, the volume of those tours we did was just out of control.
Volume was incredible. We needed the volume. You needed that thing. And I suppose at the same time...
Volume was part of... The joke is that you've got three Marshalls and they push your trout, the air pushed your trout. It pushed air. And that was part of how we played. It was... And AC/DC still, like to this day, I think Angus runs... I'm trying to think. I think he runs 15 quad boxes.
Yeah.
And 600 watt Marshalls. And Malcolm did the same. They wanted to push air. And that was part of the sonic thing as well. But it was this wall. It was literally a wall of sound.
That's how you can get the wall. That's how you can get that whole thing.
And then try and sing over that poor buggers.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. That was
No pity there.
That was horrible. Would have been good if there was in-ear monitors then maybe, but anyway.
I don't know about those in-ear. Anyway, But I think we were talking about the other day about, playing better for the first time in the Cambridge. The other night, I think we were talking about that. And I kind of thought about it and I went, you know what I do remember? I do remember that first time. And it was, what I remember clearly, which was like the most incrediblest part of the whole thing, was I know that we were into like, the Pistols and all that sort of stuff. So we had that angst going on.
Yeah.
And it was that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kabang.
Yeah.
Because we were playing, I remember playing the song, but then it was like, bang, said you never get anywhere. Yeah. That's not fair, and I know about 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then absolutely smashing. And that's where you saw the people go,
whoa.
What? Yeah. What happened? What's going on?
You didn't expect that, but we just went
from there to there.
And that's right. We did understand that there was a certain amount of punk spirit to everything we did.
Totally.
I don't know. Sex Pistols were a real funny band. I seem to have slipped off the radar with being looked back at fondly. But the Pistols were if you take the Pistols out of the fabric of music, it's a big hole there.
Yeah, it was a big hole. I mean, obviously there's other bands there, thrown their way, and even ska music and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that angst, was there, which I loved with Maiden. So they were like melodic. So that kind of where the Jets were sitting, we do a lot of melodic stuff. It's not just you. It's not just like a Rose Tattoo or an Angel.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be a little bit different. We were songwriters.
Yeah.
There were songs coming through that meant a lot. So we had to come up with this melodic style. And it just suited where I came from, playing Iron Maiden songs. It really helped me, I guess, put myself within this band. It's not where it was.
Yeah, because there's nothing better than you can sing a solo or sing a lick or sing a riff. And certainly that, when we first started doing the JetsPlayJets stuff, I'm listening to these solos going, oh, my hair was there. What? This is like, there's magic in this. It's funny. I remember you playing when we first met. When we met a long time. We met before we started the Jets because we're all kicking around the same town, And I remember seeing the stuff that you were playing, and from all this Maiden stuff and everything, I'm looking at you going, you're a year younger than me, and I'm going, wow, I can't play that. That's like. You had like, wow, and and you could do all that. I'm like, oh man, that's like the devil's music there. I can't go there. I never went there. I mean, I love Van Halen and all that, but to me, it was like, they're guitar players that are really deep, but I could never play like that. And I used to think, I guess back then, you're talking 80s. Well, if you can't play like Eddie Van Halen, you can't play. But I was just so into all these other guitar players. Even Greg Bryce, he was into boogie. He was a boogie player. And so I learned a lot of him. But so you came at it from a completely different angle, which is just beautiful because we just didn't come from the same place. And we didn't compete. We never competed.
No. There was no, the competitive was actually, what the competitive was to get the best out of the song.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's where we should have. That's where we should always have been, and it's proved.
Yeah,
in the pudding where we came up with these great riffs, we came up with these thick songs that we really wanted to do.
Yeah,
there was a competitive.
Yeah, it's funny. My little son Sam, he said to me not that long ago. He said, "Dad, like you got this song better. Like, why didn't you play the solo at the end of it?" And I said,
"Oh, wow."
I said, "That's easy, because it needed to just go."
Nuts.
It just need to go nuts and a bit more widdly diddly, and that's what Richie does. That's his job to do that. He said, "Well, why don't you do it?" Because that's his job. There's no competition. There was just serve the song.
Serve the song.
It's funny. I was just had a quick side note too. Just going back. We're talking the Stones, and I thought this was important. I forgot on the last episode, but talking about Stones, you got.
Yeah, you go.
That's just so it's like it's just so Stones in that.
Nice.
The other thing too, like we've got this twin guitar thing, and when it comes to rock music, I won't play. I never have played. I mean, I've only done Jets in rock music.
Yeah.
It's got to be two guitars. There's just no other way around it. It's the way it has to sound. The single guitar band stuff, anything blues I do, I like just one guitar. And I love the Stevie Ray and I love the Hendrix.
There you go. That's that just brings out the character of that one person if you think about blues, it is a lonely thing.
It is.
It's
scary. It's scary to get in there.
It's sad.
I made myself
emotional
do it for like 15 years, and it was really like climbing Mount Everest. But with those two, I mean, you could even look at Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, which is not blues, but you look at single guitar.
Now we're going to a three-piece. Now that's different.
And the police as well.
There
was always power, but it was because they were a unit serving the song. And I did all these Hendrix shows, and I got right into the first two Hendrix albums. I remember saying to Steve Edmonds and guys like Pete Northcote and Jack Houston, who was just the best Australian guitar players, just off the chart. Beautiful, beautiful brothers. And I go, well, I didn't realise that it wasn't. I thought it was Jimi Hendrix. It was Jimi Hendrix's experience. The experience were actually a massive part of all those songs, even if they didn't write them. And story goes, he actually paid them part of the royalties on all that, as did Kurt Cobain, because he realised that they were part of why that we worked together.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray the same. Stevie Ray born in Double Trouble. They were a band.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Stevie Ray without those two guys. And certainly for me, when Hendrix, with the experience sort of ended and then you got other guys in, I didn't think it was there as much. You know.
It was moving to what I guess is happening today in the live scene, where someone can go up and have a generic band behind you, and they're in front playing their hits.
Yeah,
it's kind of I guess they were doing it way back then because they obviously it's cheaper for everybody. You know,
people can do that, but they're replicating the magic of what someone recorded and
in the first place
before.
Absolutely.
So with the Iron Maiden, so Number of the Beast, I absolutely love it. And I always knew this song. Run to the Hills. I always knew that
Run
song.
to the Hills.
Yeah.
That was their big. Well, that was their single. That was their hit.
That was their pop song.
That was their pop song.
Crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Run to the Hills, and that's just a song that you had to. For me, as a kid learning guitar, that's like I had to do that. That was my thing. I had to do. I had to learn that song. I had to, and then when you got into the other albums, they got complicated. But anything that sounded good, and Run to the Hills, it sounded great for them.
So the big songs like Run to the Hills and The Number of the Beast.
Number of the Beast, that's huge. Yeah. The Prisoner was huge. See, The Prisoner for me was one of the biggest songs.
Yeah.
It kind of encapsulated all the songs. The Prisoner, and it was about obviously a guy because they always write about historical things. The Trooper, things like that. And so it's what happened in kind of like Aces High.
Yeah,
that's off other different albums, but obviously the British bombing or the British against the Germans sort of thing.
Yeah. So, to me it was like a short stories, a series of books, and that's
pretty much. You Run the Ancient Mariner, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So I know all these songs now, and I'm a massive fan of these songs now.
Yeah, but The Prisoner. It was basically about a guy who it's old school where he's going to be guillotined. The old guillotine, it's like a French Revolution sort of scenario, and I was talking about his feelings before the guillotine.
That's a good subject matter for us.
It's a good subject matter for a scenario, but and within that he's going through his life and confesses things to himself, kind of things why he did wrong, but he never did anything wrong anyway because he was a prisoner. It was like a political prisoner. It's like back then it was like obviously the French Revolution. It's
so it's funny, like with Run to the Hills. One thing I do remember in the 70s, kids around our hood were into Purple and Sabbath and Maiden and Priest.
Yeah, and Cooper. And
they were always kids. They had their t-shirts on. They were always kids that were like, oh god. So it was a bit weird like that, but
because you had the AC/DCs.
That's
t-shirts,
That's
people,
right.
And you kind of went, Akadaka,
Yeah.
But then when you saw them start wearing, Judas Priest or even Alice Cooper or any of those, you went, oh, okay.
It's a bit scary. There's a couple of things I remember from Run to the Hills, being like a lot of Australians come from Celtic backgrounds, Irish backgrounds, English backgrounds. When I heard that, it was like, yes, let's go forth and conquer. It was that really came out that empire, British Empire. Let's fight and wave the flag. I really got that. I can see how, and the Steve Harris bass, dun 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 dun. It was like the horses are charging.
The horses are charging in most of their songs,
and the kilts are on the rise.
That's how it is. The swords are on the air, off we go, tally ho. But I dare say, even listening to it always, and you know how you would, I don't know, as a kid for me, I would have the earphones and I would be dreaming of how I'd be standing on stage and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it was always because there had to be another guitar player.
I used to do that too. I'd always listen to music, to guitar players and work out. And I remember when we come together, we're like, this is how we're going to set the band up. This is how the stage is going to be.
Yeah, you go for all that.
Yeah.
Because you have these dreams. And they're dreams that you have every single day.
And at school, you're drawing states. Marshall stack there.
Yep.
Yeah. It was always two guitar players. Always.
Which is a good thing.
Always.
So, I mean, like that's my sort of.
So the Number of the Beast, the Prisoner.
Prisoner's my big one. Prisoner's my big one. Obviously, Run to the Hills and
Number of the Beast.
There's a Number of Beasts are right up there. But All Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Okay, I've got to go here. You know, it's really funny. The guy that does all of Iron Maiden now is Kevin Shirley, who I met at the age of 15 in Newcastle because he worked at the studio at my bus stop.
Yeah.
He's a dear friend. He did a lot of Jet stuff later on. He did Baby Animals. He works with Steve Harris pretty much exclusively now as their producer.
Wow, does he?
So it's mad, yeah. It's really like they do live gigs around the world, and Kev records them. He does the studio albums. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's a
and I did go to the old Tower Cinemas in Newcastle when Flight 666 came out. I was going, and it was incredible. And the fans, there's loyal fans, and I saw them. Maybe I was saying to you off camera before, maybe 10 years ago or something. I went with. See, all my mates were into Maiden from school. So I went down with them. We got this limo and we turned up at Maiden, and they know every word to every single song.
That's what you do with Maiden.
Yeah.
You do end up becoming.
And the crowd were like that. They were singing, and I felt like out of place because I didn't know all the songs.
You either big time. You either know about them or you understand them.
The thing was, like, I'm there as a 40-year-old, and it was full of 16 to 18-year-olds, girls and guys, and it's I can compare it to like it's like Harry Potter kind of thing. People are just, when they're in, they're in. It's like the rock and roll version of Harry Potter for me.
That's
a cool thing. Who else is like that in the world? I don't know. I think they stand alone.
They do stand alone. Definitely that's where, my influence came from. With, obviously, and if you hear the Jets albums, it's maybe the second one more so than the first one.
Yeah. First
one we
got more experimental with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. First one we were like, we're rock and roll, straightforward, straight down the line.
Yeah.
Where with the second tier of thought, we got to experiment.
Even things like Here I Go, like they're heavy, they're brutally heavy, and the guitars they come from that. For me, that Iron Maiden.
It does. That's where I'm coming from with it. I mean, you had to channel it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You couldn't just play Here I Go as a rock and roll, tour bar. You know, although that's pretty much what it is.
It's I remember all these songs just played on acoustic. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes, and it was the colours that came in, and you certainly put that stuff.
The things like. Or you would. Those, you needed to get those.
Yeah.
Those little jingle.
So I'd sort of. Yeah, and you hear other songs. We're not playing the same thing. We're building on something that just makes it sound bigger.
That's right.
And that is hard to grasp if you go two guitars. It's certain personalities, I think, are the only ones that can do that too. Otherwise, it's like clash.
You got two heroes on stage, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That would be a 4-piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I never thought, God, he's playing solo and he's the guy. So I just go, man. More, boy, let's go. And you'd be the same, like, that's your bag, man. You go that. It was 100% always like that. And there are things in the band that, whether you look at the singer or the bass player, the drummer, they're all components of the band. But obviously we're talking purely guitars here, twin guitar. And, if you look at the double guitar bands over time, and there's a certain magic there that is esoteric and it's real and it's essential. And I know we have it and we had it, and it's one of the blessings in life. There you go.
I think so. Right. Well, that was an episode.
We better go and mow the lawn.
Yeah, there's other things to do. Thanks for listening.